So if you think about it, we haven't actually had a really good, solid sci-fi movie in the cinemas for a very long time. Original, at least. I mean, last really good sci-fi movie I can think of that I enjoyed was Star Wars: The Force Awakens. But obviously that's part of a franchise. I'm thinking original, solo sci-fi movie we haven't had for such a long time. And then Arrival comes along, and it begs the question: will this finally be the one? Now, I've seen a lot of movies recently, and I haven't reviewed them because I just haven't had the time. The only thing I've been making videos on is the Road to Rogue One series, where I've been talking about the Star Wars movies, but I felt like I had to talk about this movie because it's something like completely unique and something special that I really wanted to get my thoughts out about. There's loads that I've wanted to talk about. It's just the sort of I've been working a lot, but anyway, let's get on with this review for Arrival. So it stars Amy Adams, who I most recently saw last week in Nocturnal Animals. I love Amy Adams. I think she's a great actress and she does very well in this movie. She plays this sort of... She's like this sort of school teacher, from what I gathered at the beginning, but she can sort of translate, languages and stuff like that, and this sort of government agency sort of group recruit her, led by Forrest Whitaker, and take her to try and decode what these aliens that have just arrived are saying. They've arrived all around the world in these shuttles. Nobody knows why, and they want to know why they're here. And she teams up with Jeremy Renner's character to find out just why they're on the Earth and what they want from us. It's something that sounds like it's pretty generic and pretty by the numbers sort of sci-fi, but it's not really. I mean, the film deals with a lot of things. I mean, a lot of the film is Amy Adams trying to sort of teach these aliens how to, interact and how to talk to them. She's trying to teach them human words, but at the same time she's trying to learn their language, which is pretty cool actually. Their language, they don't actually talk. They make these weird noises, but they have these tentacles, and they make these shapes with their tentacles. And the whole film's Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner and all the rest of the characters trying to decode what they mean. And it's interesting to see how they sort of go about thinking, okay, this little curly bit here means, human or whatever. And it's yeah, pretty cool, pretty unique, pretty cool way to look at different sort of alien languages. But at the same time, it has its, it has its heartfelt story. And I don't want to spoil the story of the film because it is really good. But by the end, there's a plot twist which involves Amy Adams and the aliens and this language. And it really does, it pulls on the heartstrings, and it's really different to things we've seen before in a sci-fi movie. Because, we've dealt with the themes that the ending of this movie deals with before, but not in this exact way, and I like to see that. Now, I'll say, if you haven't been to see a movie in a while and you're thinking, what do I watch? I'd say definitely go and see this one. Because, it's not like a whole sci-fi thriller action, CGI fest. There is its moments of that, but there's no real sort of big action scenes in the movie. It's more heartfelt and more, it's more to the sort of, it gets to the point quicker than a lot of sci-fi movies do. The aliens look pretty cool actually. They're like these big squid monsters, and they have these weird tentacles, and they spread them out, and they're like stars on their tentacles, and they release this gas that makes these shapes, like I said before. But their design is pretty cool. They have no faces. They're just these sort of squid-like... Think of sort of a squid, but with, these weird star tentacles that stretch out really far. It's like Squidward's head with no body. It's pretty cool. I quite liked it. So I'll say, nice design on those, at least, as well. And that, it was really interesting to see how these aliens sort of... how their world is different to the human world. Because they're in this big shuttle, it's sort of an egg-shaped shuttle, and there's a screen, and, it's cool to see, because at first they're you have to wear these contamination suits, because if you don't, you'll die, because they're so poisonous. But at the same time, they're actually pretty sort of misunderstood characters, these aliens, and you grow to like them. They're very likeable characters. And by the end, you're just sort of thinking, yeah, I wouldn't mind if they came to my planet. It's not like they're going to do any harm, is it? So yeah, that was pretty cool. And I'll say the performances in this are really good. Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner really do carry this movie. Forrest Whitaker's great, but if he wasn't in it and these two carried the movie, it would still be a really good movie. I'll say that by the end, it does leave things unanswered. And that's not a huge problem because it leaves a lot to the imagination, but some things you're just sort of thinking, where did that come from? I mean, I understood this movie completely, don't get me wrong. I get what was going on and I understand the plot. But it was like things are unanswered and there are things that you want to know the answer to by the end of seeing it. But overall, a really, really good sci-fi movie. One of the best I've seen in years. It's probably going to be on my best movies of the year list because of just how original and how good it was. If you want something to go see this week, this is the one. I think the only other movie that came out was American Pastoral, which I haven't seen and I'm not really planning to. I'm not interested in it, but I do know it was directed by Ewan McGregor, so that would be the one thing that makes me go see it. But yeah, I'll say if you're planning on going this week and you've already seen Doctor Strange, which, let's face it, you have, go and see this one because definitely a film you need to check out. So thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you thought of Arrival, and I will see you guys soon.